Well, hello model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Revell, and this week I'm going to show you some updates to my Revell 58 Corvette Roadster here that I've been slowly building and enjoying, and this kit really is a pleasure to build. So it's on my highly recommended list here if I'm going to have a list of highly recommended. But I tend to just take every build and just enjoy it to whatever I can, and some are easier to build and more pleasurable, and others are a bit more challenging. But I take pride in all of them and try to enjoy it. Some of them are a little more challenging and I just take it that way. But this one, it's the second one I built of this tooling. You saw my 59 I showed in a couple of videos and did a full feature on it last week. And I'm really enjoying this kit. I mean, it's a great kit. And then I've got another one that I'm turning into a 60, which I gave you a little peek of that too. So this one, I did get the gloss black, the onyx black sprayed on there. So I got a little bit of color sanding, some areas to do. And then I shot silver in the coves here. So this has not been clear coated yet, and I got to add some of the decals here. I sanded off the fuel injection emblem because I am going to go with the ones that are on my Keith Marks decal sheet here. I'm not sure which one of these two I'm going to go with, but it's probably going to be this one. But I'll add those, and then some of these will get used on other emblems, but most of them are put on top of the chrome. So, you know, then they go on the emblem here and the emblem here on the trunk, and then on top of this emblem. But I like to foil this emblem and then put the decal right on top of it, and that's just my personal preference because this being kind of a matte finish, the foil doesn't stick real well to that, but on a gloss finish it sticks a lot better. But the body's gloss, but I just prefer to put the foil on top of the clear coat, and that's just my personal preference, and that's the way I've done it for years. But all the body work is done, and got the coves painted silver, and getting it just some fine tuning. There's just a couple little areas I'll color sand and I'll clear over them, but most of it's real nice. I'm really happy with the way it came out, and I'm really excited. I mean, it's going to be just like the box there, of course, but really looking forward to clearing this one. And it's funny because when you paint something like this, it's always better to do the lighter color first and then the darker color. But silver covers very easily over black, so that's kind of why I did this one backwards. I sprayed this one black and then I painted this. But it's a little easier to actually paint this first and then shoot the whole body color on these, because that's actually what I did on my 60. Here's a glimpse of that body. I shot the white first, and then I masked this, and then shot the entire body this Cascade green color. So that's kind of a sneak peek of what that one's going to look like. But they're kind of getting built side by side, but not really. I started this one first, but that one's coming along with it too. I really haven't featured it, but when it's done, it'll get featured. But getting the interior done and some of the details. Sprayed the red here. I actually brush painted this section black. Most of this is hidden in the trunk. You can't really see it. And the front inner fenders are done in semi-gloss that I airbrushed, and then airbrushed the whole underside. So I shot the primer and then shot the red over that first, and then masked this top section, then shot the semi-gloss black here and all of the chassis in semi-gloss black. Just a little bit easier to do it. And then this part is not seen, it's covered by the chassis, but I may touch that up with some black just in case it's shown. But when you put this piece on top, it hides it all, but you can see the entire trans tunnel. But there's less risk of some of the plastic peeking through when you paint as much of it as you can, which is how I like to build. It's, you know, maybe a little overbuilt, but I like to do it that way. It's like the whole inside of the body is shot black up in the areas, and then I'll brush paint it so it matches, but it's all shot up in there so that hopefully you don't see any of it later on. Because some of my older builds, you look in there, and I pointed it out, you can see the plastic color, and I try to go away from that. It's just personal preference, but you can see some of the silver overspray in there, but that'll all get covered so that it doesn't appear. But that's just some of the details I go through. But that's ready for the most part. Really not anything to detail on this one, but I just shot it all semi-gloss black. So that's ready, and that's ready. Got a lot of work done to the dash. It's not done, but I got a lot of the silver, got the decals put on, most of it. All the gauges are decals, and there's a bunch of them. See in there through the steering wheel. And then just detail painted and painted that, and then a grip handle. And I mentioned the 58 doesn't have the tray under here like the 59 and 60 do. It's just an open grab bar. That's just one of the differences between a 58 and 59 and 60. But got this all painted and I'm pretty happy with it. This is almost ready to install. I just gotta put some black in all of the circles there that are in the steering wheel. I just put some black in there. You can put detail around there. And I still have to put the decal on the center of the steering wheel that says Corvette, but it's in white. It's a little hard to see, but I'll put it on there. And if you really, push your eyes and squint, you'll see it. But it's not there yet. Got the door panels pretty much done. I just used aluminum paint in there. Left the red piping because the real car has that red piping interrupting. And then the chrome was picked out with the Motolo. So that's all Motolo, not foil, and could have been a little bit cleaner, but and I'll probably touch it up a little bit here and a little bit there. These are the red reflectors. I'll put another red dot inside them, and then there's the inside door handle, which is a white knob that you pull. So I got that ready, and then both door panels are pretty much done and ready to go. So I got a lot of assembly to start putting the interior together. So there's both door panels. The 58 hood is painted. Pretty happy with the way that is. There's that washboard. Needs to be cleared. Here's the hard top with the red headliner. The soft top here, which I already got the glass glued in. This is pretty much ready. The only thing I got to do is there's just a little piece of chrome that goes right here. I'll just hit it with the Motolo pen where the screw goes right here, and I believe that's the welt of the convertible. But the framework's right there, but there's a little chrome cap that goes on there. But I need to paint those just to pick them out. Here's the trunk. None of this has been clear coated. So when I get another body or two ready for clear coat, this is going to get shot into clear. And then got the decal here on the fuel injection air cleaner hose. So I'm just getting some of this stuff assembled and ready. There's the other hose. And like even this, the shifter's painted white. I got the decal in there for the shift patterns. You can barely see it. Silver and Motolo pen. And even detail painted the battery. But once the engine's in place and that hose is on top of it, that's really hard to see. Even the non-fueling engine, which doesn't have the hose, this is hard to see. I almost forgot that it was there when I was looking at my 59, but it's very hard to see it. But with it apart like this, you can see it right now. And then got the interior done. It's kind of a vinyl leather, so I kind of left it shiny. I didn't dull coat it too much, but it's not going to get the ultra gloss clear. But it's kind of shiny. I still have to clear coat this and then put the bare metal foil on it to chrome it up just a little bit. But most of that's ready. And then last here is the chassis. Now these tires, they're not glued on yet, so they just pop right off, so that's kind of why I'm holding them that way. But these are kind of a little funky to put together, but they're put together. So in fact, we'll just take them off right now so they don't fall, and I can show you the chassis a little bit better. So I got the exhaust painted, picked out the steering, which actually does work. You can push it and turn it, which is pretty cool. Got the springs in there, which are a little hard to see, but they're in there. There's the springs, the uprights, or knuckles, spindles, whatever you want to call them, upper A-arms. The exhaust, the manifolds, which have been asked. That's actually where the spark plug wires go, this tube that goes all the way across. The spark plug wires are hidden inside there, and then the spark plug wires go up here. So when it comes to these, and then you can kind of see the distributor here, but all of this shielding covers the spark plug wires. So on these engines, you really can't see the spark plug wires. I mean, so it's almost like it's a pre-wired. You can see the 290 right there, which is almost hidden by the generator. That's the 290 horse fuel injection motor with the solid lifter cam. But it's and this is all from Revell. I didn't add any extra detail to it. I'm just building it, and the decal, the radiator fill neck with the cap, and it looks pretty good. I mean, it goes together pretty easily. Just a lot of parts, a lot of detailing, and make sure you get your exhaust put in right. But the There's some spots here where you can glue those, so it kind of makes it easy to do, but you can mess it up, and I have messed it up once you glue the mufflers in. But this is done. So all I got to do is start assembling the chassis, get some decals on the body, and clear coat all of that. So I figured I would update this so you can see where I'm at the moment, and it won't be much longer and this one will be done. But I got to run a couple more update videos on a few of the other builds. But thank you for your comments and your suggestions. I really appreciate it. And tuning in and subscribing, I appreciate all of that. You guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next weekend.